Good afternoon and welcome to BBC London. I'm Alice Salfield. Tunnelling is nearly finished on London's latest project, but you would be forgiven for having never heard of it. Despite being the capital's first road tunnel in over 30 years, Silvertown Tunnel under the Thames has been kept out of the spotlight, perhaps because of how controversial it is. While Transport for London say it will relieve pressure on the congested Blackwall Tunnel, campaigners and local councils insist it'll damage the environment. Here's our transport correspondent, Tom Edwards.
These are the latest pictures of the Silvertown Road Tunnel. Drilling is nearly finished. Eventually it'll go under the Thames right next to the Blackwall Tunnel in southeast London. But locals fear it will attract more vehicles, including large lorries.
It's going to make air quality worse. It's going to take 25,000 to 30,000 vehicles into Newham, new vehicles. I mean, it's a massive new tunnel. It's got HGV lanes. So it's going to attract new HGVs.
We think this is a magnet for bigger traffic than we've got at the moment.
The £2 billion tunnel was given the go-ahead by the Mayor Sadiq Khan. It will have a lane for zero-emissions buses, but that will also be used by larger HGVs. They previously had to use the Dartford crossing. Now both Greenwich and Newham councils have called for it to be repurposed as public transport only. Many here blame the Mayor.
It's just going to increase the pollution, and he's put in the ULEZ to reduce the pollution while making a tunnel to increase it. It's just very hypocritical of him, and it's really going to hurt the young people in the area.
I don't quite know what the Mayor's thinking is on this, but you're building in just more mayhem, certainly on this side of the river, and I'm sure on the other.
TfL says the pollution and congestion at Blackwall and Silvertown tunnels won't increase because they're going to use tolls to suppress it. Drivers will have to pay to use these tunnels when they open in 2025. The big difference, though, with Silvertown is HGVs will be able to use it. Campaigners also fear the tolls may get dropped by another mayor, something TfL say is unlikely to happen. TfL and the mayor says the project will improve reliability of the crossing and reduce congestion and queues, and there will be 37 buses an hour.
We looked at public transport only options in terms of should it be heavy rail, should it be light rail, should it be a walking cycle only crossing that we pursue. None of those options performed anywhere near as well as putting in place the new Silvertown crossing with user charging and new Cross River bus services. That was the combination which ensured that we could deliver the reduction in congestion, resolve the current issues with extensive queuing, ensure better reliability for people who need to cross the river in this part of London, and lead to an overall improvement in air quality.
The new crossing is due to open with tolls in 2025, but the opposition isn't going away. Tom Edwards, BBC London.
The parents of a young woman who died after developing a brain tumour have called on the government to spend more of the £40 million it pledged for research. Amani Lee Arquette from Luton spent the last months of her life campaigning for more funding and research into brain cancer, and now her parents have taken on her fight, heading to Westminster to speak to politicians. The government says it's invested in every suitable application made and the funding remains available. Helen Mulroy reports.
I mean, Amani, she's incredibly special. She's our firstborn, extremely bubbly.
She was a young woman with her whole life ahead of her. Amani Lee Arquette from Luton had recently graduated and was starting a master's when she was diagnosed with a brain tumour.
She had a very caring side to her, a caring, fun side.
We were devastated when she was diagnosed with cancer on her 22nd birthday.
She was immediately treated with 6 weeks of radiotherapy and chemotherapy, but sadly that didn't stop the tumour.
She was suffering from severe headaches and they had to do an emergency scan, and they just basically said the tumour's grown even more and basically the treatment's not working. So we'd already started researching outside of the UK, and there's lots of families in the UK that sadly having to do the same. And basically we'd found a drug that could be privately sourced in Germany.
The family raised over £100,000 and flew to Europe to secure this treatment.
And that's probably when we were first introduced to the fact that how woefully inadequate the treatment for brain cancer is in the UK.
Throughout her 22-month battle with brain cancer, Amani tirelessly campaigned for further funding and research into the illness. Now Amani's parents have taken on her fight.
If we can help in any way prevent another family going through the trauma that we've been through and the trauma we continue to live through, then we feel that we've achieved something.
Helen Mulroy, BBC London.
Now, you might remember during the pandemic, we featured the story of musician Olivia Dean from Walthamstow, who performed from the side of her bright yellow touring truck, offering free shows to people across the country. Since then, her music's been streamed millions of times. Last night, she performed at Somerset House following a recent appearance at Glastonbury. Michael Mackenzie went to speak to her ahead of a UK tour.
Hello, I'm Olivia Dean. I'm a singer-songwriter from East London. Glastonbury, I don't think I'm over it yet. I think I'm still processing Glastonbury. It's been something I wanted to do for my whole life. Since I was like 8 years old, I was like, I will play Glastonbury. And I did it, 3 times, and I met Elton John, so happy days, really. Since the yellow van, I couldn't have imagined being here. That tour was so special because it was like community-led, and we got to like just get in front of people in COVID when there was no live music. And now live music is back in a big way. I'm also back in a big way. And it's gonna be, yeah, I don't know. I feel very happy of the journey that I've sort of come on since then.
And Elton John said, you know, you're one of his best artists.
He did say that. He said that he thinks I'm going to be a big star, which is just so lovely. He doesn't have to be so kind, and he doesn't even have to mention me at all because he's Elton John, so I'm chuffed. Thank you, Elton. I'm a tidal wave of question marks, and you're just surfing. My debut album, Messy, came out like a week ago, and it went to #4. Thank you very much. Can't believe it. Did not expect that. And I just feel very happy about it and proud of it as a piece of work. It's completely authentic, and I really just followed my intuition and wasn't worried about, you know, the sort of commercial success and what I thought people would like. I made music purely from my heart for just my own enjoyment. So the fact that people are responding to it is very reassuring.
Olivia Dean there. And if Elton John thinks she's going to be a big star, make sure you catch her on tour if you can. Well, that takes us to the weather, and Kate is in Wimbledon for us, dodging the rain.
Just about. We've had a couple of showers, fairly light and quick ones so far, but it hasn't interrupted play. As you can see from the satellite earlier on, the cloud has been moving in. We've had some decent spells of quite warm sunshine as well, but the showers are also blowing through. Now the wind, it's a southwesterly, it's fairly brisk today, and it's blowing those showers through. So if you are stuck underneath one, it's not going to last for too long. Temperature-wise, we've got quite a bit of sunshine, so we're looking at 21, 22 Celsius as a maximum, but it's feeling quite fresh in the breeze. Now overnight, the shower risk starts to fade, so it's largely dry and it's largely clear. The minimum temperature, again, quite fresh, around 10 Celsius as a minimum, but it leads to a bright start on Thursday morning. Plenty of sunshine around as we head through Thursday, or rather through Wednesday. As we head into tomorrow, brief ridge of high pressure, so it is a more settled day tomorrow. There are fewer showers. Can't rule them out, however. There still could be 1 or 2, and temperatures getting up to around 22 or even 23 Celsius. There is a bit more sunshine tomorrow. Now, as we head through the rest of this week, a deep area of low pressure starts to develop as we head into Friday, and that brings some really unsettled conditions. The wind will start to strengthen, and we have the potential, even here at Wimbledon, for some very heavy rain.
Thanks, Kate. Well, hopefully it doesn't upset the Wimbledon too much there. Well, if you missed it yesterday, find out about the hidden world beneath Waterloo Station. That's on our website. Bye-bye.